Hey everyone, welcome to Neil Talks. My name's Neil and it's time to talk more QI. And this week our viewer request takes us back to a very early series that I haven't spent much time in at all. In fact, I haven't spent much time in the first 5 series, A through E, mostly because there aren't XL versions and I've, for whatever reason, been kind of averse to checking out just the shorter aired versions. But I want to rectify that. I want to explore some of these early ones. I've checked out the unaired pilot. I've checked out the very first aired episode. But someone recommended I check out this one from Series B, and I'm interested because we've gotten used to every series having an animal-themed episode. But it's usually along the order of letter animals. So P animals, Q animals. And we're not doing that in Series B. We're getting specific. So this one's all about bears. Now, we like our bears in Canada. We've got a bunch. We've got blacks. We've got browns, also known as grizzlies. We've got polars. And we even put some of them on our money. So we're going to have discussions probably about what are bears and what aren't. Koalas, pandas. Are these bears? Are they not? Anteaters, we just found out last week, I believe, are sometimes known as ant bears, even though they aren't bears. But what other terms, what other things can the word bear apply to? We may get into some of that as well. In any case, let's jump into it, guys. Episode 5 from Series B, Bears. Probably going to get some Winnie the Pooh and Paddington, too. Maybe some Baloo.
I'm joined on the seafront of understanding tonight by 3 winkle pickers and a cockle warmer. Bill Bailey, Jimmy Carr, Joe Brand.
Oh, some long-standing guests. Love it.
Now, this evening's QI brain teaser is on your little podium beside you. Show the boys and girls.
Right.
That.
Okay.
Throughout the show, you
Doom.
have
Just
keep you
work on
occupied.
them as we go.
That's right.
Oh.
I've got one too, and I'll show you something I came up with earlier.
I'm trying to make vagina
There, you
immediately.
QI.
Joe's done Quinn.
Have you? You put the QI in
That's
Quinn.
That's
Very
the
good.
first time my Quim's got a smattering.
Look at that.
Vagina Doom. Oh, Lord.
Fox.
Very nice. I think we get the idea. You must be a blast by the fridge. Joe, how do you go?
Ahoy.
Would anyone like some koala soup?
Presumably a hungry koala.
Of course, it would be a hungry koala. It would be a hungry baby koala. Because koalas are the only animals to make what is called a soup. Or
What, in a bowl?
they make it in the bowl of their body and it comes out of their
Mouth.
their bottom, yes.
They make soup with their arse?
They make a soup for their young with their ass.
That's careless parenting.
Koala ass soup.
They're not koala bears, they're not bears.
Well done, they're not bears,
They're
are they?
marsupials.
Yes, what are they most closely related to?
Kangaroos,
fish.
other
A
marsupials.
wombat, in fact.
Wombat.
Wombats don't have soup, they have cubicle feces.
Do they?
Rather oddly, yes. Little dice.
Leaves of the eucalyptus tree.
He is,
which is,
indeed.
acts as a powerful hallucinogen. So a lot of the time they're just saying, yeah, whoa. What did I come up here for?
But it's an analgesic rather than a hallucinogen.
It's poisonous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have an incredibly long intestine, about a mile long, to
Not
digest
actually
all
a
that
mile.
poison that would
Well-
kill a human. They sleep for 20 to 22 hours a day.
22 hours a day. I've got to give you 2 points for that. You're absolutely right.
I won a night out with a koala. We went to a restaurant and to a
An
club.
all-night.
What do you have? Soup of the
Yeah.
day?
What did your koala drink?
Bex.
Where do bears do their business in the winter?
They don't.
In the woods.
Well,
In the woods.
hibernating
did you
ones don't. Although they aren't technically hibernating.
That's minus 20 points, Alan Davies.
20?
Well, yes.
It's the Cayman Islands for tax purposes.
No.
This is pre-Jimmy tax
The
scandal.
fact is, for the 7 months of the year that they're hibernating, bears do not either urinate or defecate. Their body makes a little thing called a tappet, which is composed of sort of feces and hair and various other things, and it's a sort of butt plug.
It's a cork.
That seals up their anus for the winter.
Are they available in the shops yet?
She-bears give birth when they're hibernating.
When they're asleep.
Well, they sort of wake up rather briefly to give birth. Afterward, they go straight back to sleep again. And they can give birth to up to 4 cubs from 4 different fathers.
Sounds like the royal family, doesn't it?
Do they...
Now, bear in your bathroom, what shouldn't you squeeze?
Toothpaste.
Yes. It will make it crazy with desire.
Crazy with desire, lust.
You'd be safer carrying a freshly butchered elk leg.
In the bathroom?
But toothpaste does something to dogs as well, gets them going.
You're absolutely right. What has huge teeth and only one facial expression?
Sharks.
Janet Street Porter.
Someone explain that one for me. Who's Janet Street Porter?
I took a fall, but it was worth it.
No, it's an animal.
Shark. That's just had quite a bad stroke.
Swims in a circle like that.
Or a Botox panther.
Beavers have big teeth and they don't vary their face much.
This has the biggest teeth of any mammal, actually. It's recently been discovered to be a bear.
Oh, then that's going to be a
It's
panda.
a giant panda. And the giant panda's teeth are so enormous, and it constricts its face, which is as stiff as a board. Therefore, they're the only bears that don't hibernate, because they can't afford it, sort of calorifically.
Why are they so cute? Aesthetically, what's going on there that makes...
Big eyes make things look cute, and the black patches make it feel like that's an entire eye.
Why are they so unlibidinous?
Well, I don't know. Do you want to know about their penises? They point backwards.
They point back into
Which may
themselves?
be-
That's obviously it, surely. That must be it. Such a turn-off. Do you fancy... No, I don't really.
What can you tell me about bamboo?
Fastest growing grass in the world.
They use bamboo as scaffolding.
That's right.
You're quite right.
It's incredibly lightweight, but incredibly, extraordinarily strong. And
It has a tensile strength greater than steel.
have you been bamboo caned?
Certainly, in prep school I was caned almost daily.
2 uses of bamboo. That was just by yourself.
Never did me any harm. It grows incredibly fast. Some species grow up to 4 foot a day. You can actually watch it grow. But what is bamboo? What sort
It's a
of...
plant.
What sort
which
of
is
plant?
It's a grass, right?
tree,
No,
bark,
it's a grass.
wood grass. It's a
grass.
type of a grass.
It is well done.
Bill used to have a cactus, and it flowered, how often? Once every 25 years?
Once every 25
And he
years.
only had it 2 weeks, and it flowered.
Yeah. We took it, we didn't take it off an old cover, we bought it off an old cover. Get away, they're coming round. Wait,
You bastards, it's going to flower in a minute!
We've waited 23 years. And speaking of bamboo, how many Edisons does it take to change a light bulb?
I love a fry-out.
He had a belief that in the human mind there were little people. He really
He
believed
did
that.
not.
He did, and he believed when you die they move into someone else.
When you were a psychiatric nurse, if someone came in to you and said, I believe there are little people living in me, what would you do?
Punch them to the ground.
Edison did use bamboo as a filament in his light bulb. Edison was reckoned to be one of the great inventors. There are 1,093
Yeah, but that-
patents filed
'cause he had-
to his name. What did he invent?
Nothing.
The first light bulb was actually a long-forgotten German called Walter Globel.
Yeah. But Edison had a whole team of inventors working under him, but all the patents were filed in his name. He's a bit of a con.
He is credited with inventing the phonograph. But one thing for 100% genuine Edison invention that we use every day, probably most of us, it's not even an object.
So it's a way of being, sarcasm.
Yeah, he invented sarcasm.
right, yeah. Right.
Sure. Oh, yeah. It's actually a word.
Really? A word?
Yeah.
Is it Zugsfang?
No. You wouldn't use zigzag over down into a chess
I've
player.
used it 4 times today.
Yeah.
Well, you're fine till Thursday, then, aren't you?
Flocky knocking nihilipilification.
He didn't invent that word, but well done for knowing it. Which means?
The act of assessing something as
Very
worthless.
correct, yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
Well done, Joe Brand.
Hello.
That's the word.
You invented hello?
I've
He
heard a
invented
different
hello.
story about that.
The word that existed before is hullo, H-U-L-L-O,
Oh.
which never meant a greeting. It just meant an expression of surprise. Hello, what have we got here? Hello, what's this? We still use it. In that sense. Hello, what's that? Don't we, Bill?
Do we?
When we live our life like 1950s detective film.
The pipe.
Hey, mother, where's the milk?
You beast, you utter utter beast.
When they're free.
Maybe just a little camp, I think.
Or is it camp?
Oh, hello.
Hello.
There was a competition in the Evening Standard, and they said, well, you know, we want to find out what's the thing that you're going to say when you answer the phone. And they had a competition, people voted on it, and Hello came out #1. And what came second was a hi, which, if you watch The Simpsons, is how Mr. Burns answers the phone.
Go, ahoy, ahoy.
Which I still use.
Do you? Good for you. Good for you. Whereas I get mocked for using hello.
Stephen, what was the last thing that made you go, hello?
It was a genital wart.
Was it a general...
So the first written use of hello, spelt with an E, is in a letter from Edison in 1887. And Alexander Graham Bell preferred ahoy, ahoy.
Ahoy,
In our
ahoy.
house, if you ring my dad, he answers the phone like that. What?
Now, how do you know?
So, look, Rub
It's
Panda.
like, I don't know, it's like occupational therapy in an old people.
Put Smarties tubes on cats' legs, make them walk like a robot.
That's actually really... That's awesome.
Absolutely wonderful.
That is
visual image.
unbelievable.
Because it makes sense.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes, say it.
It
doesn't
would
make a
look
lot
like
of
a
sense.
robot.
What's this? Completely the shame.
What? Yeah, what's that? Completely
If you read them go down the stairs, it's especially good.
Hello, the cat's broken its leg.
Hello.
What's with the pyro in the mouth? He's given up smoking.
Is this the first appearance of Bill using the pen as a pipe?
I am possibly the last ever pipe smoker of the year.
The act of having a pipe, it does bestow a certain trustworthiness. Out of two builders, you would choose the builder who's got the pipe,
somehow.
because they look more somehow.
There's things on buzzers. Name a dinosaur beginning with B.
Ahoy.
Brontosaurus.
Brontosaurus.
Why?
Never was misnomer. There's never been a category of dinosaur called Brontosaurus. There was a skeleton that was once labelled with the name Brontosaurus, but it turns out to have been a misidentified Apatosaurus mixed up with the skull of a Camarasaurus.
Pterodactyl.
Pterodactyl?
Pterodactyl.
Brachiosaurus.
This is
That's a
property of...
brontosaurus.
A brachiosaurus.
That's a Brachiosaurus. 5 points for you, young master.
Thank you very much.
It actually belongs to young Luke Fletcher, who's the son of one of our researchers and scriptwriters.
Thank you for lending that to us,
Isn't
Luke.
Barney?
It's a good looking
Barney,
dinosaur.
very good. I'll give you 2 points for Barney.
Barney gets 2 points. Brontosaurus gets -10.
Barapasaurus, Bagaceratops, obviously.
Yeah, we didn't want to go for the obvious ones,
Bickle
did we?
spider. My personal favourite, which is Bambiraptor.
Bambi Raptor.
Bambiraptor.
Savage baby deer.
Yes, sweet idea. How long can a chicken live without its head?
Oh, this just came up on an episode
15 to 30
of
seconds.
House of Games. No, 540 something days.
Does it have private medical cover?
I literally just
How long does it
watched
takes it to
this
cross the
episode of
road?
House of Games just for myself.
Know
Surprise
how
you.
long it takes a live chicken to become a pret-a-manger sandwich? Do you know that?
No, tell.
55 minutes.
Good Lord, that's fresh. That's
Don't
a
you
fresh
mean
sign.
hello?
Hello.
No, you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed.
48
Is it
hours.
about a week or two?
No, much longer. 2 years.
2 years?
2 years.
540 something days. It wasn't quite 2 years.
I give you Mike, the headless chicken. From
Where
the
is
town,
he?
Colorado.
The town of Fruita. The town of Fruita in Colorado. His head was chopped off, but enough jugular vein and brainstem remained for him to stay alive, and he trotted around.
Why don't they just cook him?
Well,
He was still alive.
The very first thing to come up in the search engine is MikeTheHeadlessChicken.org, and it's Mike the Headless Chicken for president.
who discovered penicillin?
Fleming.
Fleming.
Oh, dear, oh, dear.
Obviously. I mean, he did. No, he did on mouldy bread, which you rub in your cuts in the outback.
No.
I wrote it on a card, therefore it's wrong.
I want you to think of young Arab stable boys rubbing things into their inner thighs.
Mouldy bread.
What they rubbed to get rid of saddle sores was the mould on the side of the saddle. The nomadic Bedouin of Arabia had been doing this for 1,000 years, and then they were observed by Ernest Duchesne, who wrote a very lengthy paper about it, submitted it to the Institute Pasteur in Paris, who didn't even acknowledge receipt of it. But it was only in 1949, 5 years after Alexander Fleming, that he was posthumously awarded with rediscovering it. Now, here are some pictures for us, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. 4 famous brain boxes. Which is the odd one out? We have Reading left to right, Arthur Conan Doyle, creator of Sherlock Holmes, of course. Niels Bohr, Nobel Prize-winning physicist. Dmitri Shostakovich, Russian composer. And another Nobel Prize winner, Albert Camus. Who's the other one? Yes.
Who's the witch?
There's only one with glasses on.
Camus is the only one smoking.
No,
No,
there's two smokers.
smoking.
There's only one mustachioed.
They were all first-team
Sports.
goalkeepers. 3 of them were.
Conan Doyle was the only
Doyle-
one who believed in fairies.
He also played in goal for Portsmouth. Niels Bohr played in the University of Copenhagen first team.
Presumably when a goal went in...
Albert Camus, as you rightly said, was goalkeeper as well.
He was the
For the
national-
University of Algiers.
Shostakovich was a centre forward.
No, he wasn't.
Banged in 40 a season with Spartak Moscow.
No, he didn't. He was a
referee.
qualified referee. In last place, with minus 35. Alan Davies.
Now we've got regular QI scoring.
With minus 5, it's Bill Bailey. With 8 points is Joe Brown. And in first place with 15 points, Jimmy Carr.
He won with robot cat legs.
Good night.
Those 3 guests have to be, if not the top in the top 5, certainly in the top 10 number of appearances. I know Bill Bailey's tied at the top, but Joe and Jimmy, I feel like they've made so many appearances over the years. Yeah, that's just a murderer's row of a panel, isn't it? Great episode, though. I feel like we may have witnessed the birth of Bill Bailey's pen as a pipe thing that's become almost his trademark for the show. But that was a really fun episode. Technically, it was about bears, and we certainly talked about pandas and koalas a smidge, but this is what I love, is the show just, I mean, you might as well just call it tangent time or something, because it goes in, it meanders in all sorts of directions, and a lot of that has to do with just whatever the guests bring up out of the blue. But the elves themselves do a really fun job of just taking really interesting diversions. Quite interesting. I like that even this early on in the show, we're seeing guests rib Steven, giving him a hard time for being so posh. I like that we're incorporating props. Having the fun little message boards, that was cool, and like I'm blown away with Jimmy's solve of A, using every letter on his board, and B, putting together like a coherent and funny sentence. How many people put Smarties tubes on their cat's legs after this, and how many cat-related Smartie injuries were there in local veterinarian offices in the coming months? I feel like this may have sparked a small pandemic, a breakout of such things. Thank goodness this was pre-TikTok. Sometimes guests just surprise you. Like, Joe was breaking out some big-ass words there, and using them with some real familiarity. I was impressed. And I do love Alan's energy. He's not being beaten up by Steven in this episode, but he's certainly just in full disruptive, chaotic mode. I don't believe some of the stuff we were told in this episode, though. We were told pandas have the biggest teeth of any mammals? That can't be right, because elephant tusks are teeth. Some proper carnivores must have bigger teeth than pandas. You're telling me, like, polar bear canines or, tigers and lions don't have bigger teeth than bamboo-chewing pandas? Are there zoodentists out there that specialize in animal teeth? If any of you are watching, please let me know. I just don't buy it. And we've learned to not trust everything that comes through QI. That 7% of everything we learn every year is eventually proven to be wrong. Especially, that we're doing series that are almost 20 years old. There's going to be some incorrect information. As they showed in this episode here, like, pandas were only discovered to be bears in 1995. They thought they were raccoons before that? Based on what? Is there anything beyond the fact that they both sort of have the eye patch coloring? That's really weird if that's the case. It seems like you'd have more biological markers to base it on than just that. Anyhow, I feel like we glossed over the koala soup thing. Someone needs to explain to me what that is. If it's not just poop that they feed their kids. Anyway. Thank you for pointing me towards this episode, everybody. As always, I welcome your suggestions for future episodes to react to. And I look forward to next week's episode. Don't know what it's going to be yet, but it's going to be fun. So, until then, everybody, take care, stay healthy. We'll see you soon. Cheers.